Alright, listen up. Pull up a chair. Let's talk straight. What if I told you that the person staring back at you in the mirror 3 months from now could be someone you barely recognize? Not some pie-in-the-sky dream, but the real deal. The way you carry yourself into a room, the steel in your voice when you speak, the calm you find when the pressure's on, all of it transformed. Imagine it 90 days. That's it. And the version of you that flinches, the one endlessly scrolling through life, the one drowning in self-doubt? Gone. Vanished. Replaced by someone forged in focus. Someone who doesn't just talk but builds. Someone who doesn't just start but finishes. A force to be reckoned with. That future? It's not luck. It's not magic. It's a choice you make right now. And if you're sitting there nodding, feeling that fire in your gut, knowing you're done settling, then you need to lock in. This isn't background noise. This is the playbook. You might need to run it back a few times, let it sink deep, because we're not dealing in hype here. We're talking about the nuts and bolts, the daily grind, the mental shifts that actually forge change. This is the blueprint you've been searching for. But let's get one thing crystal clear from the jump. This ain't your mama's feel-good pep talk. This isn't a shot of temporary motivation that wears off by lunch. This is a declaration of war. A war against the comfortable, complacent you. Against the habits that have you chained to mediocrity. Against those tired excuses you keep pulling out like worn-out playing cards. 90 days. One decision. Are you going all in or are you staying put? Here's the raw truth. 90 days isn't some mystical number. It's just math. It's the science of momentum. Think about Sarah, a single mom I met in Chicago. Juggling 2 jobs, kids, exhaustion, felt like she was drowning. She decided on 90 days. 90 days of waking up an hour earlier, not for more work, but for herself, 30 minutes reading, 30 minutes walking, rain or shine. Day 5, she wanted to quit. Day 20, she was just numb. But around day 50, something clicked. That hour wasn't a chore anymore, it was her anchor. By day 90, she wasn't just coping, she was commanding her life. Got a promotion, started a side hustle, carried herself differently. Why? 3 months of radical consistency. Enough time to hardwire new habits deep into your bones, to turn tiny victories into an avalanche of unstoppable momentum. Enough time to blow past the 99% who are sleepwalking, telling themselves someday is a viable strategy. But none of it happens by accident. It demands you lock the door on distractions. It demands you eliminate the escape routes. Remember Cortez landing in the New World, burning his ships? No retreat. That's the level of commitment we're talking about. Treat these 90 days like your last shot at becoming the person you were meant to be. You've said you were ready before. We all have. This time, you prove it with action. And if you're serious, truly serious, hit that subscribe button right now. Because I'm not just dropping this knowledge and walking away. I'm walking this path with you every step. These aren't quick fixes, they're deep dives into the core of what makes us tick, what makes us quit, and what makes us conquer. Stay locked in, commit like your life depends on it, because maybe it does, and the world won't recognize the person who emerges on day 91. It all starts here. Today, you've got 90 days to flip the switch. And this right here, this is where you toss the old, worn-out blueprint into the fire. Let's build a new one. Let's begin. A person who is truly decided, I mean really decided, doesn't hedge their baits. They don't keep a backup plan tucked away. They stride up to the bridge leading back to their old life, douse it in gasoline, and strike the match. Retreat becomes impossible. And in that single, irreversible act, something shifts. They become someone else. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now! That's what locking in means. For the next 90 days, your life gets laser focused. Narrow. Intense. Forged in the fires of daily discipline. Every single day, you stack another brick of proof. Proof that you're not the person who hesitates anymore. Proof that you're not governed by fleeting moods. And day by day, Your brain, that incredible machine between your ears, starts to rewire itself to believe this new truth. This isn't just talk, it's neuroscience. Your brain thrives on patterns. Repetition carves grooves like water cutting through rock. Do something once? It's a blip. Do it twice? It leaves a mark. Do it every single day for 90 days. No excuses, no apologies, no negotiation, and that pattern becomes your default setting. It becomes your identity. And once your identity shifts, you stop trying to be disciplined. You simply are. Waking up early isn't a struggle. It's just who you are. Going the extra mile isn't a special effort. It's your baseline. Choosing the hard path over the easy one isn't a sacrifice. It's your nature. That's the power of 90 days. It's not just long enough to try something new. It's long enough to become someone new. And let's cut the crap. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's about physics. It's about momentum. Think about pushing a stalled car. Getting it moving takes a massive effort, right? But once it's rolling, even slightly downhill, it starts to pull you. Most people never build momentum because they're constantly stopping and starting. 3 days on, 1 day off. A week of focus, then 2 weeks of drifting. They're always pushing that stalled car, always back at square one, waiting for that elusive spark of motivation. But motivation? It's a fickle friend. It shows up when it feels like it, and disappears when the work gets tough. Discipline? That's the bedrock. That's the truth. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, if it's raining, if your friends are hitting the bar. Discipline just moves. And movement creates momentum. Momentum is the force that turns struggle into flow. It's what turns conscious effort into unconscious competence. It's the invisible hand that separates the person perpetually restarting from the person steadily rising. Because once you push past a certain point, once the habits lock in, the body adapts, the mind sees undeniable proof, a switch flips. The work stops feeling like a weight pushing you down and starts feeling like a current pulling you forward. But getting there? It requires walking through the fire. Through friction. Through that brutal phase where it feels like nothing's happening, like you're pouring effort into a black hole. That's the barrier where most people turn back. But I need you to burn this into your mind. Resistance isn't a stop sign. It's a signal. It's the sound of your old limitations breaking down. It means you're evolving. Think about it. Muscles don't grow without the strain of lifting weights. A musician doesn't master an instrument without relentless, often tedious, practice. Your identity doesn't transform without pushing against your own internal friction. When it gets hard, when that voice whispers, just quit, it's easier. That's the moment of truth. That's the edge where transformation happens. That's where most people fold their hand. But you won't, because you've decided. And a real decision isn't about feeling good today. It's about becoming great tomorrow. Discomfort is the cover charge for the next level of you. There's no discount. There's no easy path. You pay for transformation with sweat, with focus, with relentless discipline. But once you earn it, it's yours. That new identity becomes your armor. That unwavering mindset becomes your engine. And from that point on, the entire game changes. The person who locks in for 90 days emerges different because they've trained their mind to follow purpose, not fleeting feelings. They've practiced showing up when the bleachers are empty. They've rewritten their internal story from "I'm trying my best" to "I am becoming my best." So here's the choice, laid bare. Do you keep flirting with the idea of change, or do you commit to becoming it? Because when you go all in, when you burn that bridge and remove the escape hatch, you force your entire system, your nerves, your habits, your environment, to adapt to the new standard you've set. That's how identity is forged, not in a single moment of inspiration, but across 90 consecutive days of deliberate action. Stop waiting for the path to feel easy. It won't. It's not meant to. The discomfort isn't a red light telling you to stop. It's a green light screaming, go. Lean in. Keep building, because 90 days from this moment, if you stay locked in, you won't just feel different. You'll be different. The world might not recognize you. More importantly, The person you used to be won't recognize you either. There's a shift that happens, a click. You stop asking, what should I maybe do today? And you start demanding, what must be done? This is that moment. We've laid the groundwork, stoked the fire. Now we build the furnace. We construct a system so solid, so focused, so unbreakable that falling back becomes harder than pushing forward. Welcome to the 90-day lock-in blueprint. It's straightforward. It's demanding. It works. It's not built for comfort. It's engineered for evolution. These next 90 days revolve around 5 non-negotiable pillars. Perform them daily. Together, they will forge a version of you that's sharper, stronger, and frankly, more dangerous to your old limitations than anything you've experienced before. Let's break them down. Pillar 1, the mind. Your reality is shaped by your thoughts. You can't outperform your internal dialogue. Every single day for the next 90 days, one dedicated are feeding your mind. Not zoning out to podcasts, not mindless scrolling. Focused input. Reading books that challenge you, biographies of giants, deep dives into strategy, philosophy that stretches your perspective. Reflecting seriously on your actions, your progress, your roadblocks. Writing down insights, plans, affirmations. This isn't entertainment, it's mental fortification. Downloading elite software into your operating system. Why? Because most people drift. Their minds are cluttered attics, filled with mental junk food, social media noise, other people's opinions, endless negativity. Not you. Not anymore. Your mind becomes your sharpest tool. Choose reading that builds. Write ideas that expand. Analyze your own game film. This art doesn't just upgrade your thinking, it rewires who you are. You start to communicate differently, strategize differently, carry yourself differently. Because you're fueling your mind with purpose, not poison. Over 90 days, you install a new way of being. Pillar 2, the body. Your body is the engine. The mind steers, but the body provides the horsepower. Every single day train. Minimum 30 minutes, ideally 60. We're chasing intensity and consistency, not perfection. Run sprints up a hill. Lift heavy things. Hit a bag. Do push-ups in your living room. Hike a trail. Just move. Move with purpose. This isn't about vanity, it's about generating energy, building resilience, proving discipline. Your physical state dictates your mental state. A weak body houses a wavering mind. If you feel sluggish, your focus fractures, your drive dips. You don't need fancy gear or a personal trainer yelling at you. You need a commitment carved in stone. Sweat every day. Push past the point of comfort. Let every drop of sweat be a declaration. I don't negotiate with weakness. Soon, your body isn't just carrying you, it's anchoring your standards. It becomes a force multiplier. Pillar 3, the mission. This is where the dream gets built, brick by painstaking brick. This is where most folks stumble. They react to the day instead of commanding it. Not you. Every single day, 90 minutes of deep, uninterrupted work on your core mission. Your craft, your business, your skill, your calling. No phone buzzing, no browser tabs open, no distractions. One solid hour and a half minimum. If you're writing the next great American novel, you write. If you're launching a startup, you build the product, you make the calls. If you're mastering code, you code. And if you're thinking, I don't know my mission yet, then finding it becomes your 90-minute mission. You read widely, you journal intensely, you experiment, you start building something. Clarity comes through action, not passive thought. Why 90 minutes? Because most people barely give their biggest goals 90 minutes a month. They wonder why the needle never moves. This daily block compounds relentlessly. It hones your skills like a whetstone. It creates separation. 90 minutes a day is over 13 hours a week. That's a serious part-time job dedicated solely to your ascent. This is where you build the future they can't see yet. But trust me, they'll feel its impact when it arrives. Pillar 4, stillness. In the heart of the storm, there must be calm. If your mind is a constant whirlwind, your true potential remains clouded. Every single day, 10 to 20 minutes of deliberate stillness. No phone. No music. No input. Just you. Your breath. Your presence. Sit quietly. Walk slowly in nature without headphones. Just be. This isn't wasted time, it's sharpening the blade of your focus. It's where stress dissolves, clarity surfaces, and insights emerge. It's where you reconnect with your core purpose. I know a hedge fund manager, manages billions, sharpest guy I know. His non-negotiable? 20 minutes of silent sitting every morning. Says it's where he sees the patterns everyone else misses. Most minds are addicted to the buzz, the constant stimulation. Their thoughts are borrowed, reactive. You will break that addiction. You will cultivate presence. Presence breeds clarity. Clarity unlocks power. People underestimate the chaos inside. They think productivity is frantic motion. But the true masters, the ones who move with lethal precision, understand stillness isn't inaction, it's strategic alignment. It's mental recovery. It's where your vision calibrates. Sit. Breathe. Resist the urge to fidget, to check something. Observe the mental chatter without judgment. Let it fade. You're detoxing your attention span. Do this daily. Watch your focus deepen. Pillar 5, no negotiation. This is the keystone. This holds the entire structure together. You do what you said you would do. End of story. This is where aspiration transforms into reality. This is the code. No negotiation means you don't skip days because you don't feel like it. You don't lower the bar because you're tired. You don't make excuses. This is your contract with yourself, signed in sweat and resolved the day you began. There are no loopholes. See, success isn't usually a talent issue, it's a negotiation problem. People start fired up, but the first time it gets tough, the inner lawyer comes out. Just skip today. You earned it. Go easy. You can make it up tomorrow. Bit by bit, they erode their own commitment. They teach their subconscious mind, my word is flimsy, not you. Not this time. You do it anyway. Especially when it's hard, inconvenient, boring. That's precisely when the identity shift cements itself. That's when the future you starts trusting the present you. No negotiation isn't about perfection. Life happens. But it is about relentless course correction. Miss a workout? You find time later or you double down tomorrow. You don't let yourself get soft. Not during these 90 days. Remember the price. Discomfort is the cost of the next version of you. Payment is due daily. Follow this blueprint rigorously, without compromise, and your life must change. It's cause and effect. Your mind gets sharper, decisions faster, vision clearer. Your body becomes an instrument of power, not just how it looks, but how you move, confident and grounded. Your mission gains traction, you're executing, not just planning. Your presence becomes magnetic because you've cultivated focus and inner calm, separating yourself from the scattered herd. And discipline stops being something you do and becomes who you are. That's the whole point. Not just ticking boxes, but becoming the kind of person who doesn't need convincing to rise. You don't need reminders or applause. You just move. You build. You live by a different code. The old you? He negotiated with fear, fatigue, and doubt. The new you has one rule, no negotiation. If you're serious about this transformation, about becoming someone fundamentally different, you make decisions today that are final. These are 90-day decisions. You don't wake up each morning and debate whether you'll follow through. That's amateur hour. That's the old way. The new you decides once, then executes relentlessly. The power lies in that certainty. Decide what gets cut and it stays cut. No appeals when you're tired. No reconsidering when temptation knocks. No watering it down because others don't get it. You made the call. Now only discipline matters. So what gets the axe? Mindless distractions gone. Scrolling feeds that feed you nothing. Constant notifications hijacking your focus. Content that numbs instead of builds. Your environment is your battlefield. Low value input is the enemy. If it doesn't serve the mission, it's out. Period. Gossip and drama gone. You are unavailable for conversations that shrink you. Your energy is your most precious resource. Protect it like Fort Knox. You can't build an empire if you're constantly leaking energy into pointless negativity. And yes, let's talk about alcohol. Be honest with yourself. If you're truly committed to peak mental clarity, to forging inner power, there's no room for substances that dull your edge. A drink might feel like unwinding, but chemically it's regression. It lowers your frequency, messes with your sleep, clouds the sharp thinking you need for hard decisions. Cut it out. Completely. Maybe not forever, but for these 90 days? Absolutely. This is your sprint to a higher version of yourself. Don't sabotage it. Now, dopamine. Your brain isn't just addicted to distraction. It's addicted to the neurochemistry of it, the quick, cheap hits from notifications, likes, novelty. You've been trained like Pavlov's dog to chase digital crumbs instead of building lasting fulfillment. You need a hard reset. That means embracing silence, even boredom. It means finding satisfaction in the deep focus, the physical exertion, the quiet progress. These 90 days aren't about chasing highs. They're about retraining your reward system. It will feel uncomfortable at first, like withdrawing from a drug. Good. That means it's working. The environment you curate is critical. Try to wage this war in a cluttered, chaotic space. You're setting yourself up to fail. Clean your workspace. Organize your living area. Make it sharp, focused, intentional. Your physical space reflects your mental space. This isn't about interior design, it's about building a launchpad for success. Every time you enter that space, it should scream, this is where winning happens. No more working from the couch in your pajamas. Create zones for focused work. Minimize visual noise. Your phone, your laptop, they become tools, not toys. Everything serves the mission. This extends beyond the physical. Your mental space needs monk-like boundaries. Saying no becomes a superpower. Protecting your time from energy vampires who don't respect your goals. Deleting time-wasting apps. Muting distracting group chats. Breaking the habit of reflexive phone checking. You're building an airtight container for transformation. Nothing non-essential gets in. No energy leaks out. Because every time you yield to distraction, you whisper to your subconscious, I'm not really serious. Let that message take hold, and discipline crumbles like dry leaves. But when you wake up and follow through, especially when it's tough, when nobody's watching, you send the opposite signal. This is non-negotiable. This is who I am now. That's how you rebuild your identity. Act by deliberate act. Your mind doesn't need more cheerleading. It needs clear orders. Stop letting your mood dictate your actions. Stop consulting your feelings before you execute. Become the person who moves regardless of internal weather. If feelings run the show, your results will always be patchy. This is the season of self-command. Reprogram your thoughts to serve your highest vision, not your weakest impulse, not your fleeting cravings, not your deepest fears, your vision. Decide right now. What are your non-negotiables for these 90 days? What gets cut? What stays? Where does your energy flow, and what will never drain it again? Answer those questions with brutal honesty. Then live inside those answers. Lock it in. And move. This isn't discipline for its own sake. This is about finally becoming the person capable of finishing the mission you were born for. Most people fail not from lack of talent, but lack of consistency. They catch fire, get hyped up by the gear, make the vision board. Then the initial emotion fades, and so does the action. That's the trap, relying on motivation. Waiting to feel ready, feel inspired. But motivation is a feeling, and feelings are like clouds. They drift, they change, they disappear. You can't build a rock-solid life on shifting sands. So how do you stay consistent when the feeling is gone? You build from identity, not emotion. Start with identity anchoring. Stop acting based on who you have been. Start acting, thinking, and speaking as if you are already the person you intend to become. Not someday. Today. Not when you get the results. Now. Carry yourself like the disciplined, focused individual you are forging. You don't try to be consistent, you operate from a place where consistency is your default state. Think of Michael Jordan. He didn't just decide to be great during the finals. He practiced with championship intensity every single day. His identity was excellence. Behavior follows identity. See yourself as a quitter, you'll find reasons to quit. See yourself as someone who finished what they start. You'll push through, even when it hurts. Act from that future identity now, and let your actions mold your self-perception. It's not fake it till you make it, it's act as if, until you become. Next, stop obsessing over the finish line. Set the goal, clarify the vision, then shift your entire focus to the systems. A goal is the destination, like reaching the summit of Mount Rainier. The system is the climbing plan, the training regimen, the gear checks, the daily ascent, the process that gets you there. Goals inspire, but systems deliver. You don't rise by staring at the peak. You rise by mastering each step. What's your non-negotiable morning system? Your evening shutdown ritual? Your deep work protocol? Your training schedule? Make these systems brutally simple, almost automatic. No debate, no delay. Just execute. And crucially, to reinforce those systems, track everything. If you don't track it, you're guessing. And guessing is a recipe for self-deception. Your brain is a master storyteller. It will conveniently forget the skipped workouts, rationalize the missed deadlines, paint a rosier picture than reality. Numbers don't have feelings. Data doesn't lie. A checkmark on a calendar? That's proof. No checkmark? That's also proof. Get a simple notebook, a wall calendar, an app, whatever works. Make it visible. Why? Because seeing progress, even tiny checkmarks accumulating day after day, feeds the brain's reward system. It links dopamine to discipline, not distraction. It builds tangible confidence. It keeps you honest. Seeing an unbroken chain of X's on your calendar creates a powerful psychological pull. You won't want to break the chain. That visual accountability is often the difference between staying aligned and drifting off course when motivation inevitably dips. Build rituals. Same wake-up time. Same morning sequence. Same wind-down routine. Rituals create rhythm. Rhythm builds momentum. Momentum makes hard things feel easier, more natural. Automate the critical actions. I know a best-selling author who, for 90 days straight while writing his first book, followed the exact same routine. Wake at 5 a.m., coffee, 15 minutes silence, 90 minutes writing, 30 minutes exercise. No deviation. He said it wasn't about inspiration, it was about removing decision fatigue and letting the ritual carry him. Make the first and last hour of your day sacred ground. Morning, prime your mind and body. Read, move, sit in silence, set your intention. Evening, decompress, reflect, plan the next day, shut down screens. Bookend your days with discipline, and the hours in between will fall into line. And when it gets hard, not if, but when, anchor back to your identity. Ask the defining question, what would the person I am committed to becoming do right now? Would they hit snooze? Would they scroll mindlessly? Would they let temporary discomfort dictate their actions? Or would they stand up, acknowledge the resistance, and execute the plan anyway? That single question, asked and answered honestly in the moment of temptation, can rewire your entire trajectory. The answer is always clear. The more you choose the path of the future you, the faster you become that person. Discipline isn't about white-knuckled perfection. It's about unwavering rhythm. It's about making the important things automatic, freeing up your mental energy for the real challenges. Build the systems. Track the actions. Anchor the identity. And never again let motivation be your master. From now on, you are the engine. You are the reason you keep going. You're going to slam into 3 distinct walls during these 90 days. It's not a sign of weakness, it's the physics of transformation. Growth requires breaking through resistance. Nobody strolls casually into a radically new life without confronting the ghosts of the old one. The question isn't if it will get hard. The question is, when it does, will you keep moving? The first wall hits fast, usually around day 7 to 10. The initial excitement wears off, the novelty fades. The dopamine rush of starting something new is gone. Now it's just you, the raw work, and your old habits screaming for attention, pulling you back toward comfort. You'll hear that insidious voice, "This is too hard, just take one day off. You deserve it. It's not sustainable." Recognize that voice for what it is, your past self fighting for survival. This first test is crucial. You don't argue with it, you don't engage. You push through it with quiet, relentless action. Every workout you complete despite wanting to quit, every focused you log when distraction beckons, you're chipping away at the old foundation. Your old self feels this. That's why it resists so fiercely. But that resistance is your compass. It proves you're heading in the right direction. Then comes the second wall, lurking around day 30. This one's different, more subtle. It's not acute pain, it's the dull ache of boredom. The routine feels monotonous. The grind feels, well, like a grind. You haven't seen massive, earth-shattering results yet, just the steady rhythm of daily execution. And doubt creeps in. Is this really making a difference? Maybe I should try a different approach. Is it actually worth all this effort? This is where discipline truly separates the amateurs from the pros. The enemy here isn't failure. It's the temptation to chase novelty, to abandon the proven system because it lacks immediate fireworks. But understand this, the magic is happening in the monotony. This is where deep habits are forged, where resilience is built. Keep showing up. Keep swinging the axe, even when the tree doesn't seem to budge. Underneath the surface, the roots are weakening, the transformation is accelerating. Your brain is rewiring. Your focus is hardening. Your emotional baseline is stabilizing. You are becoming different, forged in the quiet consistency, not the fleeting hype. Day 60, the rebirth. You might wake up one morning and just feel different, sharper, calmer, more grounded. You talk less, act more decisively. The habits that felt like climbing a mountain now feel like walking on level ground. They're just part of who you are. Your body feels stronger, more responsive. Your mind doesn't fight the discipline anymore, it anticipates it. The internal resistance has largely dissolved, replaced by a steady rhythm. You start to feel the shift in your energy, your clarity, your capability. You're not desperately chasing motivation. You're operating from a place of deep, internal power. You're not just pursuing goals, you're living your standard. And in that quiet realization, I am not the same person I was 60 days ago. But the full payoff, the undeniable proof, crystallizes around day 90. This isn't just feeling good, it's tangible evidence. Your routines are locked in. Your energy levels are higher. Your decisions are clearer. People around you notice something different, not just what you're doing, but how you're being. There's a new weight to your presence. And you feel it most profoundly yourself. You didn't need constant applause or external validation. You just showed up. Day after day. Through the resistance, through the boredom, through the silence. You earned this. By day 90, it's not just progress you see. It's a fundamentally new identity staring back at you from the mirror. An identity built brick by brick through deliberate action, forged in the fires of discomfort, anchored in unwavering consistency. This wasn't some quick fix challenge. This was deep, cellular level transformation. The kind that sticks. The kind that changes the game permanently. Here's the hard truth. Most people won't make it this far. Not because they lack the potential, but because they never truly decided. They dipped their toes in the water of change. You dove headfirst into the deep end. So when the resistance hits, lean into it. When boredom sets in, double down on the system. When the rebirth starts, embrace it fully. Because the person waiting for you on the other side of these 90 days is stronger, sharper, and more capable than you currently dare to imagine. There will be moments, maybe one, maybe many, where the urge to quit feels overwhelming. Your mind, clever and conditioned for comfort, will craft compelling arguments. It's too much. Missing one day won't kill me. I can always start again later. Recognize this voice. It's not logic, it's resistance disguised as reason. It's the siren song of your old self trying to lure you back to the familiar shores of mediocrity. This internal battle is the real crucible. Forget the schedule, the environment. The toughest fight is always within. When that moment hits, when your resolve wavers, you need an anchor. You need to remember why. Burn this into your soul. The version of me who seeks ease will never shake hands with the version of me capable of greatness. That future you, the disciplined, focused, unstoppable force, isn't born when things are easy. He's forged in the exact moment you face the urge to quit, look it square in the eye and refuse to blink. That's the line. Napoleon Hill called it definiteness of purpose, an unwavering, laser-like commitment to a clearly defined outcome. Not a hope, not a maybe. A decision etched in stone. The moment you make that decision, really make it, quitting ceases to be an option on the menu. You stop checking the forecast before your run. You stop asking if you feel creative before you write. You stop waiting for the muse. You just execute. Purpose doesn't negotiate with feelings. Think of soldiers in basic training. They don't build resilience on sunny days with perfect conditions. They build it in the mud, the rain, the exhaustion, when every fiber of their being screams for relief, and they push through anyway. So what do you do when that quitting voice whispers? You anchor. Take a deep breath. Speak your reset phrase. Maybe it's simply, I said 90, not 9. 9 days of effort is a flicker. 90 days of relentless, focused execution changes everything. This is the contract you made with your future self. It's non-negotiable. Remind yourself, pain is information. Discomfort is the currency of growth. Resistance means the old limitations are breaking down. Don't run from it, use it. Let it carve away the softness, the excuses, the fragility. Every single time you push through when you wanted to fold, you earn something priceless, self-respect. And self-respect is the granite foundation upon which all true confidence is built. So when you want to quit, don't. Breathe. Reset. Recommit. Repeat the mantra, I said 90, not 9, then get back to the work. There's a point, if you stay in the fire long enough, where the struggle itself transforms. The habits click into place. The resistance yields. The voice that screamed, this is impossible, gets replaced by a quiet, powerful certainty. This is who I am now. That's not motivation talking. That's identity. And identity changes everything. Repetition is the hammer that forges identity. What you do daily shapes what you believe about yourself. And your beliefs dictate your actions, your standards, your thoughts, your entire way of being. When you show up day after day, especially when no one's watching, you're doing more than just checking boxes. You're sending a powerful message to your subconscious with every rep, every completed task, every act of quiet discipline. I am the kind of person who honors my commitments. I am the kind of person who finishes what I start. You stop chasing the goal and start embodying the person who achieves goals as a matter of course. You're not trying to improve, you are improving. You're not waiting to become that next level you. You're building him right here, right now. This is the power of autosuggestion, deliberately feeding your mind the identity you choose, repeating it through affirmations, and more importantly, through consistent action until it takes root and blossoms into your new reality. That's why this isn't just something you watch once. You immerse yourself in this process. You study the principles. You replay the core messages. You speak the affirmations until they resonate deep in your bones, until your subconscious accepts them as fact. The person who masters their internal dialogue masters their life. Repeat the right words, backed by the right actions, and your thoughts shift. Shift your thoughts and your habits transform. Transform your habits and your actions change. Change your actions and your results inevitably follow. Until finally, your entire identity has been upgraded, not through hype, but through the relentless grind of consistency. Say it right now, feel it. I am the builder. I create my conditions. I am not hoping for a breakthrough. I am architecting it. Let that loop run in your mind. Repeat it when you wake up. Repeat it when you face resistance. Repeat it until it drowns out the noise of doubt, until it becomes more real, more powerful than the ghost of the person you used to be. Because when these 90 days are over, you don't just revert. You don't finish this process. You emerge from it, fundamentally different, sharper, stronger, unrecognizable. And the world won't need an explanation. They won't need a triumphant announcement. They will see it. They will feel it. The results will speak with an undeniable authority that silences all doubt. So watch this again. Internalize it. Let it rewire your operating system. Let the principles burn into your consciousness until the discipline isn't forced. It's automatic. It's just breath. This is how true transformation occurs, not in one blinding flash, but through 90 deliberate days of becoming. They won't see you grinding in the dark. Let them wonder. Let them speculate. Let them assume you quit. Your focus isn't on their perception, it's on the work. Go silent. Go deep. Build. What you're creating doesn't need an audience right now. It needs your unwavering obsession. All in. Locked in. Every single day. And when you step back into the light, you won't need to say a word. You'll return with evidence. They'll feel the shift in your presence before they even process the results. They'll see it in your eyes, hear it in your voice, sense it in your quiet confidence. The person they knew? He doesn't live here anymore. That's the power of finality. That's the power of no negotiation. That's the power of becoming. You didn't fake it. You earned it. And the silence of your transformation will echo louder than any noise they could possibly make.